It all began on a night like any other night, except for one difference. It was day. It was a warm May afternoon, on Saturday the 20th, 1946. I'm a private detective in the naked city. With all the nudity of crime, it's up to me to clothe the city in the garments of freedom, with a watchful eye and a swift mind. But business was slow, and I needed a case. Badly. Not to mention, I really needed someone to hire me. They call me Meadowdale. Peter Meadowdale. As I was saying, before I was interrupted by the opening credits and theme song, business was unusually slow, as usual. And I needed someone to come my way. But all I got was the janitor. Hey there, Benny.
Hello there, Mr. Meadowdale, sir.
I told you, Benny, don't call me Mr. Meadowdale. Call me Mr. Detective Peter Meadowdale.
Of course, Mr. Detective Peter Meadowdale, sir. How's business doing?
Not so good, Benny. It's been a whole week and there hasn't been one robbery. Not a single murder. What's this world coming to?
Don't worry, sir. Things will start to look up.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm sure you have a lot of work to do. I'll see you around, Mr. Detective Peter Meadowdale, sir.
Huh? Oh. Sure, Benny. Just when I thought my luck had run out, she came in. Hey there, sweetheart. What can I do for you?
Well,
Please, have a seat.
you have to help me. They stole it.
Although this sounded vaguely familiar, I proceeded in questioning the mysterious woman. Relax, ma'am. Who did?
They did.
Who might they be?
That's just it. I don't know who they were. I wasn't there when they stole it.
And what did these mysterious men steal from you?
Some of my finest cases of bourbon.
I see.
And my malted eagle.
Your, malted eagle?
Yes, it's an eagle statue carved out of malt. And whenever I'm entertaining guests who want a drink, sometimes they prefer a malted drink. So I just break off a piece of the malted eagle.
I see. Could you describe the objects in question, ma'am?
Why are you questioning my objects?
No, ma'am. I
thought you were questioning me.
I am, but never mind. Could you tell me more about the cases of bourbon that were stolen?
Well, there were 12 bottles in each case, and there were 3 wooden cases each with the words "Care with Handle" on the side.
I see. Shouldn't that be handle with care?
Shouldn't what be?
Never mind. I'll get right on it. And thank you very much, Miss.
So, Mr. Meadowdale, aren't you going to ask the girl her name and number so you can find her later?
Yes, of course. Where can I contact you?
421 Blueberry Lane, 555-5500.
Mm-hmm. And, your name?
You're staring.
What? No, I wasn't.
Wasn't what?
Wait. What did you say?
You're staring. It's my name. Victoria Erstaring.
Oh. Yes. Yes, of course. I watched her leave my office and decided I should probably hit the streets and start this case.
Mr. Meadowdale,
Yeah!
aren't you going to walk me to the door?
You ever have one of those days where your timing seems just a bit off?
Mr. Meadowdale.
Huh? Oh. Right. I walked her to the door and decided I should start working on this case. 11:14 a.m. As usual, I stopped by the corner of 4th and Main to pick up a paper from Jimmy.
Quarter, Mr. Meadowdale?
No thanks, Jimmy. I'm not that poor. Jimmy was a good kid, but he didn't always make the most sense. I decided to start hunting for clues at my favorite watering hole.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is a construction site.
Have you heard anything about the malted eagle?
What?
What?
But when that didn't prove useful, I figured I'd just go to Vinny's Tavern. Vinny was a good guy. No matter who you were, no matter how many glasses you managed to break, he was always glad to see you.
Meadowdale. Always glad to see you. What'll you have?
The usual. Scotch on the rocks. And a side of information. Ooh, and some of those little pretzels too.
Sure thing. What sort of information?
Well, you see, I'm looking for this malted eagle.
You don't say.
No. You see, there's this lady.
Well, if it isn't the detective.
Hello, Carl.
What's new, gumshoe?
Hey Carl, do you mind? I'm in the middle of an important case here.
Oh, is that what they call it these days?
Carl, why don't you lay off, eh?
Thanks, Vinny.
He's one of my best customers.
Thanks, Vinny.
Look at that. Mr. Private Eye needs a bartender to fight his battles for him. Hey, Meadowdale, your shrink called me the other day. He said he's tired of the competition.
Hey Carl, would you mind holding my drink for a sec?
Sure thing, Meadowdale. I guess you really can't hold your liquor.
Thanks, Carl.
Hey, I won't have that in my bar. Take it outside, Meadowdale.
Don't worry. I was just leaving. "1:35 p.m. I figured it was about time to visit the scene of the crime, 421 Blueberry Lane. But first I needed to make a quick phone call. Marie, I didn't know you partake.
Why, whatever do you mean, Mr. Meadowdale?
Nothing. Mr. Staring? Peter Meadowdale. I'm just calling to make sure I can go over and look for some clues. Thanks.
Mr. Meadowdale, what a surprise.
I was wondering if I could come in and look around for some clues.
Of course.
Nice place.
Thanks. I live here.
Right. I was wondering if you could show me where the malted eagle and bottles of bourbon were kept, Mr. Staring.
Sure. Follow me.
So, what is it you do exactly, Mr. Staring?
Well, I work in a restaurant.
Oh, really? Which one?
The old bar in the alleyway. It's now the Blue Hound Dive. Here's the spot.
I see. Well, there's nothing to see here.
What about this piece of string?
Of course, you didn't let me finish. There's nothing to see here except this piece of string. So I'll just take this back to my office and...
Work, work, work. Why don't you take a break from your case for this evening?
But I just started today.
True, but what about our date tonight?
We have a date?
7 o'clock. The Blue Hound Dive. Right after my shift is over.
Well, I...
See you then.
.3:15 p.m. I went back to my office to file the newly found evidence and get ready for my newly found dinner plans. Afternoon, Marie.
Oh, hiya, Mr. Meadowdale.
Any messages for me?
None.
Marie? Why is there a shot of me on the floor?
You got me.
Well, that's no place for a great shot like that. Here you go.
Oh, gee. Thanks.
I'll be in my office if you need me.
How goes the case, Mr. Detective Peter Meadowdale, sir?
Well, I think it's a little slow, but then again, what is it in this town? I do know that it would be a lot easier if people like Carl were around or up my collar.
Beg pardon, sir?
It's just some bum down at Vinny's Tavern. You know, he's always there to make me feel an inch high. Not that height matters, of course. Actually, it's a well-known fact that people who are, well, vertically challenged, it's no big deal, really. At least I'm working again. That's the important thing, right? Well, I'm off to get ready for my big date with Mr. Staring. I might come in later on this evening, but just between you and me, Benny, don't wait up.
Well, I hope you have a good time. Sir?
.6:51 p.m. I arrived at the Blue Hound Dive a little early, so I decided to walk around a bit. The place was packed tonight. Between the drunkards and, local businessmen, there were enough shifty characters hanging around to make any policeman's back teeth float. I kept a sharp eye out for anything remotely suspicious. Nice weather we're having.
Yeah, beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, jeez. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Here, this one's on me.
Bet it is.
It was nearing 7, so I grabbed a table and waited for Mr. Staring.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Victoria, you're staring.
Miss you.
Oh, I missed you too, sweetie.
I didn't know you could sing.
A girl's gotta have her secrets, you know.
Can I quote you on that?
Sure.
Always be on the lookout for Victoria's secrets.
Why, thank you, Mr. Meadowdale. You're a very surprising man.
Well, you know what they say about short men.
What's that?
I don't know. I hadn't thought that far ahead. Why did they rename this place the Blue Hound Dive anyway?
Well, it could be because, like me, it's a little rough around the edges.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? There's an urgent phone call at the front desk for Mr. Peter Meadowdale.
Which one?
The criminal investigative detective.
Oh, it's not me. Could you excuse me, Mr. Staring? I need to, powder my nose.
Oh, no problem. I'll be right here.
I'm sorry, sir. There's no one here by that...
Wait! My name is Peter Meadowdale, so I'll take the phone call for that other guy, even though I'm not a criminal investigative detective. Meadowdale here. What's that, Chief? Who? Mr. Sterring? I need to leave immediately. There's been a murder.
A murder?
A murder. Didn't you hear me the first time?
Oh, yes. But I was adding drama to the situation by repeating the last two words you said.
That doesn't always work, you know.
You know?
I stand corrected. Anyway, I'll make it up to you. We'll go out for coffee tomorrow or something.
I'll be waiting.
So I left the Blue Hound Dive and went to investigate. 9:27 p.m. There was a murder at Vinny's Tavern, and to my surprise, Carl was the victim. When I got there, I took a quick look around the outside for any sort of lead. What I found was much worse.
So, to your knowledge, did this man have any real enemies?
Well, no one really liked him, but there was one guy who would definitely have had a motive to do this.
Who?
Peter Meadowdale.
I couldn't believe it. Vinny, the guy who served drinks to such a loyal customer and model citizen, ratted me out. I needed to get in there before he could say anything else. Evening, gentlemen.
Meadowdale! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to give 3 mosquito bites, Vinny. 3.
What do you want, Meadowdale?
Scotch on the rocks.
No, that's not what... Ah, hell here.
What's the scoop, officer?
Well, we received a call about 20 minutes ago from some neighbors. They heard some commotion. Apparently, Vinny here let this guy make himself feel right at home.
I told you before, Carl was too drunk to drive home, so I told him he could spend the night. I had no idea he was gonna get iced in the process.
Who else would have known that Carl was staying late?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out from Vinny here. Who was here right before Vinny let Carl spend the night?
What was the cause of death?
Well, it appears that he was hit over the head several times with a blunt object.
Well, I've heard all I need.
Well, aren't you going to take a look around?
Nah, there's no evidence here.
What about these 2 pieces of string?
You didn't let me finish. There's no evidence here, except these 2 pieces of string. Thank you, officer. We'll be in touch. 2 more pieces of string. First was a missing malt statue and 3 cases of bourbon, then a piece of string at the first scene of the crime. Now the murder of Carl. But how was Carl involved? What was the connection? Whatever it was, I knew I would figure it out. No matter how great the challenge or how high the stakes, I would crack this case. Or my name was Peter Meadowdale. One thing was certain, I needed to spend more time perfecting my internal monologue. Who could have thunk that Carl became the way he liked his drinks? Stiff. I decided I needed time to think. Eventually, I went back to my office with the hope that some light would finally be shed on this case. 10:13 p.m. I sat there and tried to figure out the connection between the malted eagle, 3 pieces of string, and the murder of Carl. But no matter how I wrote it down, the facts just didn't add up.
Morning, sir. Were you here all night?
Morning, Benny. Yeah, I guess so. I had to leave the club early. But I'm gonna make it up to Victoria later. I'm gonna take her out for some coffee. Say, what time is it anyway? And then it hit me. I didn't know how I could have missed something so important. All right. Where were you last night between the hours of 7 and 10 p.m.? And remember, it's illegal to lie to a detective. Come on out with it. Recent developments the way they were, I decided to see what was in the local news.
Extra, extra, big crimes in the big city. Extra, extra. Hey, Meadowdale, you forgot to give me a tip, and this time make it a good one.
All right. Wait at least 20 minutes after eating if you want to go swimming. No matter what anyone tells you, kids today still want discipline. I took a walk to Mr. Staring's house since it seemed like the right time for coffee. I had run out of leads, out of ideas, and time was next in line. But just when I thought this case had reached the limit of insanity, it decided to buy a one-way ticket to Nutsville when I found a note on Victoria's door.
All right, Missy. It looks like your hero had more important things to do. I guess that means we can cross you off of his to-do list.
You'll never get away with this, whoever you are. Nothing gets in the way of Peter Meadowdale, not even a freak job like you.
Freak job? Honestly, hun, I wouldn't talk like that if I were on the wrong end of a mop. Time's up, Miss Prissy. Get ready to sing your last two taps.
Wait!
So, you finally decided to show up. I guess she doesn't mean that much to you for you to take your time like this.
Take my time, nothing. Didn't you see the traffic on the way here?
Oh, I know. It's always the worst around 9. What you do is you take the back streets and take a full circle on North.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's much faster. Especially...
All right! Enough small talk. It's time to get down to business.
Who are you?
So soon, Mr. Meadowdale? Don't you want to know what I've done first? I thought that's how it was done.
It doesn't matter. I end up with the same information anyway. It's up to you.
Very well. I stole the bourbon and the malted eagle, and I killed Carl.
But why?
Because I love you.
Benny? Listen, I'm flattered and all, but I'm not like that.
What do you mean?
My door doesn't swing both ways. I don't play reverse baseball.
Oh, no. You didn't let me finish.
me!
You, know this woman?
Oh, yeah. She used to be part of my bridge club.
I don't understand. Do you like men's clothes or something?
Don't you see? Don't you get it? I did all this for you. I wanted to show you how much I care for you.
Call me old-fashioned, but a simple card would have done the trick.
Yeah, Jenny, you've got some explaining to do.
Ever since that case you wrapped up a week ago, I've been fascinated with Peter Meadowdale. I decided I wanted to know more about you, so I made a disguise that could fool even a great detective, Vinny the janitor. The more I worked around you, the closer I wanted to become. I soon realized that in order to impress you, I would need to do something big. And since you were out of work, what better way to impress you than by getting you a new case? So I stole from Victoria, since I knew you couldn't resist a beautiful woman in distress. But that wasn't enough. When you came back from Vinny's tavern complaining about Carl giving you a hard time, I took care of him with my weapon of choice.
Okay, that explains why there were strings at the scene of the crime. But what I don't get is, why would you be stupid enough to leave bourbon bottles in the office trash can?
No, that was your secretary. She has a problem.
Oh.
My plan was perfect, but it backfired when I saw you getting too close to Victoria. All that work, and the woman I ended up using as bait ended up being your main focus. And when I heard that you would take her out for a second date, I decided enough was enough. So I kidnapped her. This statue is a symbol of my love for you.
Well, I don't know what to say. But for starters, I can never love Victoria.
What?
Oh, sure. I mean, she's attractive in every way possible. But, she's a few bricks shy of a building. A few ants short of a hill. A few marbles short of a rye.
Then there's still a chance for us. We can leave this town and start over.
As tempting as that sounds, my dear, I'm afraid not.
Excuse me?
Don't get me wrong. I'm extremely flattered. In a strange, disturbing way. But frankly, sweetheart, you're just plain nuts.
But what about all I've done for you? Doesn't that count for something?
It'd never work. True, we both have one thing in common. We can both commit. You commit crimes, and I'm committed to stopping them. Maybe in another time, in another place, when murder, theft, and breaking and entering are a way of life.
But I love you! And I've waited so long to hear you say those words to me, too.
Sadly, my dear, the only 3 little words you'll ever hear me say are take her away.
Let's go, lady. You're being charged with murder, theft, breaking and entering, and impersonating a man.
You see, Jenny, I have my own flashback. When I read that note of yours, I knew there would be trouble. So on the way here, I called for backup.
Back up! You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Pete, I want you to have the malted eagle.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's brought me nothing but bad luck ever since I got it. Pete,
things you said about me.
Lies. All lies. I just wanted to trick Jenny, of course.
Of course. Oh. Oh. Yeah.
What a day. My janitor turned out to be a woman who was obsessed with me. I was suspected of murder. And the blonde woman of my dreams turned out to have more than just me on her mind. Air. And to top it all off, I never found those missing cases of bourbon. Oh well, at least I have this unique statue.
What's that, Mr. Meadowdale?
The stuff that drinks are made of. Keep the change, kid. Oh, sure. I mean, she's attractive. The new word for today class is attractive. It's additive and attractive.
All you could do was walk
Oh. I forgot the lyrics. This statue is a symbol of my love for
Long enough to give 3 mosquito bites, Vinny. 3. Let's just take it. No, let's just take it from. I'll say 3, and you say, "What do you want, Meadowdale?" That was. I like that. Let's go in the outtakes. Go ahead and start recording.
Oh, it's been a long day.
I know.
Extra! Extra! Two-headed alien! I've got spam! Extra! Extra!
And look up at him a little bit. Yeah.
There's a car coming by. I have to wait a minute. Hello.
It's recording still.
That was beautiful. I'm gonna put that in the outtakes. All right.